What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mykeeey here with another YouTube video, and today we're reacting to. Hold on, let me read this title because I've been tweaking when it comes to reading these titles. You were watching Attack on Titans wrong. That's what I've been reacting to. Cause let me find out. I've been watching Attack on Titans the wrong way this whole time. Me and my girls, my sunshine. If y'all seen on the videos, my sunshine. Yes, we've been watching Attack on Titans from the beginning because she's never seen that anime, and I want to share that experience with her because that anime run was historical. To me, when it comes to anime, that's one of my top 3 animes of all time because you get the story building, you get the emotional wear and tear on the characters and on yourself. You really get to question what the fuck is this all about? Why am I even watching this? What? Are you kidding me? Those are the emotions you go through when you watch Attack on Titans. It's just the world as it is. Like when we look at that world, the world building of that anime, you don't see it that often. Like when I'm looking for new anime to watch, what I look for is a main character that actually has trials to overcome. I actually had hardship that he has to overcome. He doesn't go through life so easy. Like he has to have something that makes him challenge himself. But he's not always the nigga losing all the time. But that's typically what it happens. The nigga's usually the most hardworking person, but he can't ever succeed until his life is on the line. And then when it comes to Attack on Titans, Eren, he had the hard work. He had the motivation. He had the drive. The nigga still died the fucking second episode. You feel me? If you ain't see that shit, second, third episode, whatever the fuck that was, he didn't die. If you thought he died, I sent you off that fast. That fast. Yes. I sent you off because he got ate up. But in my mind, when you're watching it, you think that nigga dead. You feel me? You go through a lot of emotions watching that shit instantly. Every season is great bangers. Mind you, the last season threw me off when they just went to they went across the map for real. When I thought they was gonna experience the real world, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what the fuck I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that with Gabby and them actually just ostracizing Eren and their community, their civilization just been ostracized this whole time because I forgot, to be honest. I haven't rewatched Attack on Titans all the way through because I damn near cried. I believe I cried on the last finale episode. A lot happened. Them episodes is long as shit and filled with a lot of shit, quality content. You feel me? It's easy to miss some shit. So me and my girl, that's the main thing I'm talking about. Me and my sunshine have been watching these videos. Not the videos, but we restarted. I restarted. She started for the first time. And I told her as we were watching this for the first time, like, I've seen on TikTok people say like you can start watching Attack on Titans from the last episode or backwards in a sense, the best way to say it. You can watch that series backwards. And the way I interpret backwards is from starting from season 4, going to season 3, going to season 2, then to season 1. I haven't tried it, but I'm going to after I watch this video. I'm going to definitely try and rework that. I'm going to test this theory out of me watching this shit wrong. Anime's ball deep. Drop a banger. That was a long intro. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I gotta get back active.
Eren Yeager was a man who wanted nothing more than freedom. Yet,
Yeah.
ironically, he became the biggest slave in the entire world. A slave to the future, a slave to Ymir, and ultimately, a slave to the very idea of...
Yeah, I be trying to remind myself when I'm watching each episode that Eren time traveled and he's actively like brainwashing people. Everything that happened in these episodes is because Eren allowed it to happen and he made sure it happened. If something was going to go off the rails, he made sure that they went right back to the right track. So everything that's going on is because Eren purposely needed every specific detail like this. So it's just crazy. And then at the same time, in present time, Eren, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He seen everything happening at the same time, but still had no reason, had no time to recollect what the fuck was going on.
Sudden choice.
It's
It
crazy.
was a 2,000-year chain reaction forged by Ymir, connected inside a realm where cause and effect don't exist. In reality, the rumbling was destined the moment Eren was born, because his future self traveled backwards through time and altered the past to make it fade. The
You feel me?
Attack Titan has the most broken power in the entire series. Its
Yeah.
users can see past and future memories across generations, and this creates a predestination paradox where knowledge of the future influences past actions. And because the final holder is future Eren, everyone is forced to follow the path that leads to his dream. Now, one of the clearest instances,
And don't nobody that he's telling about his dream, don't nobody know what his dream is. He damn near don't even know what his dream is.
of future Eren affecting the past is when Kruger suddenly told Grisha, "You must save Mikasa and Armin." Even though he didn't know who they were, he was seeing future memories. Kruger then made a massive reveal that no matter what era, every person that had the Attack Titan would strive for freedom. Like a young Eren himself said in season 1, that I don't know why, but when I think of taking that freedom back, strength flows through me.
Shout out Anime Balls, and shout out Anime Balls Deep, because I love these videos. This is why I have such a passion and I love to talk about anime, because they can break down so much shit from the anime to the manga. You could go back and forth and they help feed in the hidden details that you might have missed. And they can really expand upon them in the mangas and sometimes in the show. They expand upon them. They give them the well due respect in the anime that they got in the manga. They do that sometimes.
This man
Attack on Titan is one of the animes where the manga and anime kinda, to me, I'm still reading the manga. They correlate pretty seamlessly. It's pretty
future
smooth.
Eren manipulated the past for 2,000 years, and every death he caused was part of a time loop. Now, if you're confused, well, don't worry, because I'm about to reveal every hidden detail across the story.
Bro, talk to
And
me.
by the end of this video, I promise you'll see Attack on Titan in a completely different way. Firstly, one of the clearest moments proving Eren was manipulating the past is the truth behind his own mother's death.
Yeah.
Future Eren deliberately went back and made sure Dina Fritz ignored Berthold during the fall of Shiganshina.
How you do that?
Because if Dina had eaten Berthold,
She would've became
everyone
that shit.
collapses. Without Berthold staying alive to pass on the Colossal Titan at the right moment, Armin would die, and the entire chain of events leading to the rumbling becomes impossible. If Dina had devoured him, she would have regained her humanity and memories. And since Dina was a Eldian restorationist who plotted to destroy Mali from within using the Founding Titan and restore Eldia as a world power, she would have exposed Mali's secrets to Paradis 5 years earlier. Paradis would gain the Colossal Titan way too soon, meaning they'd be able to fight back against the Trust Breach, uncover the truth of the outside world early without going to the basement, and rewrite the timeline in a way where Eren never receives the Founding Titan under the same conditions. On top of that, if Dina survived, Paradis would suddenly have a Titan of royal blood, making a partial rumbling instantly available without Zeke, which means the events in Liberia would not occur. This is why Eren forces Dina to walk straight towards Carla Jaeger, because if Carla dies, Grisha Jaeger's motivation to go against Eren, it disappears. Remember, after seeing the future through Eren's memories, Grisha literally begs Zeke to stop Eren. He doesn't want the rumbling. The only reason Grisha still gives Eren the attack and Founding Titans is because Carla's death breaks him psychologically. And of course, Eren himself wouldn't have the same burning hatred that all Titans must be exterminated if he didn't witness his mother being eaten right in front of him. So future Eren alters this single point in history for multiple reasons at once: to keep Berthold alive, to stop Dina from restoring her humanity, to break Grisha's resolve, and to forge his own. But everything I just explained is nothing
God
compared
damn.
to the biggest time loop in the entire story. Because Eren does the unthinkable. He goes back in Grisha's memories and forces his own father to slaughter the race family.
Yeah.
This is the moment that...
That shit was cold. Like, it was cold, but it was just... I was on the edge of my seat on that episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know what to think. It's like, yeah, off the royal family, because they wicked as it is. Like, even though they in that little Iceland, they in that little parody island, where the fuck they got them aliens at, they was still controlling shit. Like, despite them living in their own section of the world, they still operated in a controlled lamb, cattle be cattle, classes type of society. So it's like, these people in the royal family, majority of the people that had the Titan, the lady that had that the last founding Titan gene or whatever the fuck, she really wasn't on that shit. She was just next in line to get that shit sometimes. From my own interpretation, he was just taking them off the map, and they was just doing what was best for them, what they was known best to do. And he's like, man, some of these motherfuckers is kids in here. Some of these people I done worked with, I done help nurse them back to health. Grisha done help nurse half of these motherfuckers back to health plenty of times. So it's like, he gotta fight himself to actually, you feel me, follow through. Then you got your son from the future that you don't even know telling you some shit that's about to happen because of what you didn't do and what you still are going to do. What you're gonna do is not gonna change. So, in order to really get back for what they did to your sister, dad, because they did this to your sister too. That's why you even over here. You feel me? Get back. But I was moving around because I was like, I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. I thought niggas was gonna die. I was always wondering, how did Eren even get the founding Titan, let alone this is how he got it. Eren Ben knew, man. He sent that triangle offense in like a motherfucker.
Grisha didn't want to do it and begged for another way, but Eren overrides his father's will. We even learned that Eren only showed Grisha glimpses of the future to ensure he passes on the Titans to him. Heck, we can even argue Eren was the whole reason Grisha ended up moving to Paradise, marrying again, and ensured he was born. But if you think that was the peak of Eren's timeline hacks, you're not ready for the next thing Eren and Ymir changed in time.
What else they do, fam?
They make is the moment that started the entire series.
Bro, I watched this scene like 4 times with my girl when I was telling her we gotta restart watching this, because the way Mika's arm was cutting at the end of the scene and the way her arm was waking up Eren, I'm like, that seemed kind of too similar to Miss. Something about that seemed like they was too interconnected from him. And then when he woke up with his eyes watery and crying, they're like, why were you crying? Let alone he noticed her hair was shorter. There's a lot of shit I didn't peep that now, since I didn't watch the whole anime in fullity, I can see that. You feel me? I see that's what a lot of shit they was connected. Also, the tree that his head is buried at too. You feel me? Where she put his head, a lot of symbolism in this whole scene right here.
Series. Eren waking up under the tree in episode 1. It was never just a dream. Now that we understand how the paths work, Eren was actually receiving a message. This is why episode 1...
And that shit was moving too fast for me to actually see what's happening in the scenes, because I definitely feel like that was important. Whenever they do shit like that in anime series or any regular show you watch, and when they just speed run through glimpses of the future or the past, that shit is going to be mentioned at some point, or has a real important part to play in the plot and how these characters operate.
Receiving a message. This is why episode 1 is titled "To You 2000 Years From Now." It's literally Ymir sending memories, Eren's future actions across time to the boy who would one day free her. When Eren wakes up crying, telling Mikasa he had a dream and her hair is long now, confused, that is Eren explicitly forgetting the visions of his future self forced into his mind. As we know, Mikasa has short hair during the rumbling. This is confirmed even harder in chapter 131, where we see young Eren literally living inside the future memories. As Eren marches through Mali and crushes nations beneath the Colossal Titans, he shows his childhood self exactly what freedom feels like. A bird's eye flight over the clouds, seeing the world outside the walls, just like Armin talked about. Future Eren needed him to eternalize the feeling of freedom, the thrill of breaking the cage, and the emotional weight that would push him towards the rumbling. This is why young Eren cries without knowing why. But the craziest part is that Eren deliberately wiped most of the details so that his younger self wouldn't change.
Wait a minute, I missed something.
Without knowing why. But the craziest
Run that back.
the thrill of breaking the cage and the emotional weight that would push him towards the rumbling. This is why young
See, now this is something I probably didn't even read in the mangas. I gotta get all the books for real.
Cries without knowing why. But the craziest part is that Eren deliberately wiped most of the details so that his younger self wouldn't change anything. Eren would only see this scenery of freedom again at 15 years old when he kisses Historia's hand, which he admits to when speaking to Zeke as part of.
See, now that's a part two. I want to see how all the episodes leading up to the episode. I need to really regain the context of how important that part is too, because I always remember him kissing her hand, but it's like the context behind it I don't remember. A lot of this shit I remember watching in real time when I had to wait to the next week for the episode to come out on Adult Swim to watch the new episode of Attack on Titans, because that's how deep in I was in this shit. Attack on Titans was the start of all the raw ass anime that we have today. If we didn't have Attack on Titans, we wouldn't have a lot of different animes, in my opinion. And I first watched Attack on Titans on YouTube. When I figured out they had another season on this shit on TV, oh yeah,
and this
I'm
is
cooking.
Where the time loop becomes undeniable.
What happened?
The episode title forms a conversation across time, as episode 80 is from you 2,000 years ago. It was in this moment that Eren tells Ymir she was the one who sent him down this path to free her. Eren learns everything about her past and claims he's gonna put an end to the world, and this action becomes the reply 2,000 years later. Eren also claimed Ymir is no slave, no god, just a human being who's free to choose, and she ends up agreeing with the rumbling path. But chapter 131, guess what? It contains another time loop that most fans miss. Eren's final conversation with Armin in chapter 139, where he shows him the volcanoes, deserts, and oceans, and every place from their childhood book, it actually takes place during the rumbling, in the same dream moment where young Eren receives his visions. Armin would forget this ever happened on the boat, as Eren only wanted their memories to return after his death. But have you ever wondered why Armin as a kid was so naturally curious with the world beyond the walls? He was even branded a heretic for it. Armin ends up being the one that told young Eren about the information that was contained in the book. But here's where it gets insane.
Now, one of my sunshine, her little brother, shout out my boy, he told us to always look at when it, like, the story's being told from the aspect of Armin's perspective, in a sense. Like, when you hear the voiceovers in the background, think of that as Armin talking. We're seeing Eren, we're experiencing Eren from Armin's point of view. Ever since he said that, I'm like, damn. Whole time, these narration time, there's been Armin talking. I've been thinking that's Eren talking, but that's Armin talking to me this whole time, narrating his damn fucking life. Shit crazy.
The case where Armin first showed Eren that book. It's the exact same spot where future Eren reveals the truth to Armin. So Armin's obsession wasn't random. It was implanted by future Eren in some shape or form to ensure his past self would want to go beyond the walls after looking at the images in the book. Now, so far, we've exposed 4 different time loops. And honestly, my brain needs a buff.
Man, my brain is fried right now. I didn't even smoke nothing yet today.
And if you've never tried gamer subs before,
I'm not trying to fry it up with caffeine either.
When Krug history. The next time loop to discuss is in chapter 89. When Kruger is explaining the truth of the restorationists to Grisha, Eren is literally watching these memories at the same time. He's standing in prison, doing the exact pose Kruger once did, and he learns the name of his titan, and it's one of the best title drops of a...
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. This nigga is a fucking demon, bro. This nigga knew, bro. Niggas oil farming in jail.
Doing the exact pose Kruger once did, and he learns
just like his daddy.
Titan, and it's one of the best title drops of a manga in history. Play the clip.
And they was asking him the same shit. The scouts might not have even asking him shit. He just said it's the Attack Titan. They misspoke and he just corrected them type shit. But he didn't know he was daydreaming and they was actually talking to him. And he responded in real time, like little shit like that.
This scene even crazier is what happens right after. Hanj, Armin, and Levi, they catch Eren talking to himself.
Bro.
Repeating words from a memory they have no idea
Bro.
Eren plays it off like nothing happened, but then his eyes glaze over like he just woke up from a long dream, just like in episode 1. And that's because he did. He was syncing with memories. And the next chapter makes that even clearer. In chapter 90, Eren suddenly recalls the death of his father's sister Faye, torn apart by Marley dogs. His worldview cracks under this pressure. He starts doubting what lies outside the walls, and by the time he touches Historia's hand, the future finally hits him like a truck. After that, he can't even enjoy reaching the sea. Instead of feeling happiness, he stares across the horizon and asks, if we destroy the enemies on the other side, will we finally be free? That's the version of Eren who saw everything that was coming. But fast forward to chapter 106 and
Damn, I didn't even PP said that shit. Like, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. You just make me want to watch this shit all over again. And I'm already watching it. Now for the fully commit. My girl get home, she gonna be blue at me because I'm gonna be ready to watch this shit. So thirsty.
Time, he's talking to himself. At the same time, Mikasa repeats his famous line with him. If we don't fight, we can't win. So fight. And this is not a coincidence, people. This is another instance of future Eren bleeding into past Eren, motivating himself the same way he motivated Grisha and Kruger. The Attack Titan always pushes its inheritor to keep moving forward, no matter how painful the path becomes. Even Hanj catches Eren again, paralleling the scene from chapter 89 perfectly, and she immediately notices that something is off, because just a few days later, Eren breaks out of prison, initiates the Jaegerist coup, betrays Armin and Mikasa, where he beats Armin bloody and calls Mikasa a slave. But as chapter 139 confirms, all of this was just an act.
Yeah. That shit fucked me up though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was expecting Armin to at least run the fade with him. At least throw a little couple punches. You ain't gotta take the beating the whole time. I feel bad for my boy because let alone the shit he was saying to Mikasa for, I know you don't mean it. I know you don't mean this shit. I know you just saying this shit to motivate them and you don't want them to die too, for real. This is all I could take from it. I'm like, damn. He really trying to get their ass to turn on him so they don't die with him. Because he know he's over with. He know he's cooked. But he just don't want their ass to be so connected to him that they got to die too. So this is literally the only way. The only way he could have did it. Shit is crazy.
Forced himself to play to emotionally distance his loved ones so they wouldn't break their resolve during the rumbling to kill him. That means this prison moment where he talks to himself in the mirror is literally a time loop where future Eren is coaching past Eren through the darkest role of his life.
Yeah.
Bringing me to the last two time travel moments, which are that.
Yeah. He had to motivate himself because man. Imagine knowing that you have to turn on everyone you love because if they don't, the whole world is going to be ready to assassinate them. So instead of doing that, you have to in turn make them hate you. So they can be on the right side of the world. And when it's time for you to get off this planet, folks, everyone can resume life as peaceful as possible. But the ones that love you know the truth. They're going to still know because he made sure they knew that what he did, it's the only way it's the only best outcome he could find.
Absolute best.
Mind you, he did wipe out 95% of the planet. They had to go. I'm on Eren's side. If you didn't notice, I'm on Eren's side with a lot of this shit. Them niggas had to go. So I'm sorry. He did what he had to do. Shout out Mikasa for following through, following the plan.
Eren uses in the mirror Well, they are the same ones he first said when saving Mikasa as a child. During the childhood kidnapping incident, remember that Eren had never been to Mikasa's cabin. He had no way of knowing where she was being taken.
No cap.
He navigated the woods with perfect accuracy and
see, yeah, that was always a question to me, because how the fuck and why the fuck was he just so enraged at an early age? No Titan abilities. No Titan abilities, no nothing. Just a young nigga following his dad, trying to help him be a doctor. And he just so happened to stumble upon a family that's just got smoked and their daughter is missing. But this nigga know how to find her with exact precision. He know how to turn a knife into a fucking broom. He know how to turn that into a long staff. You feel me? Nigga, yeah, it was a lot of shit I overlooked, but now that he's talking about it, how the fuck did he do this?
It proves young Eren acted with knowledge he couldn't possibly have. Eren said to Zeke that he isn't the pathetic brother he presumed him to be, nor was he brainwashed to be a loser like Grisha did with him. He was born this way. If someone tries to take away his freedom, he won't hesitate to take theirs. But this
Zeke and Eren are just total different beings. Eren got that shit out the mud. If you was talking shit about him or you was talking shit in his vicinity, he gonna make sure he check you about it. Whether he gonna win that battle or not, he gonna check you about it. He gonna like, hey bro, what the fuck is you talking about, dummy? Zeke, on the other hand, he gonna take the whole long route to backdoor you. He's a backdoor specialist. So watch out for niggas like Zeke.
isn't just about
Never mind, can't watch that for my boy Levi. My boy Levi. Got his ass.
For a reason. It is a major branching point in the time loop. By saving Mikasa, Eren awakens her Ackerman power for the first time.
Oh, bro.
This moment forges the bond that will become the center of Ymir's entire 2,000-year plan to let go of her love. Mikasa receives the red scarf, the symbol she cherishes until the very end, even at Eren's grave. And that attachment becomes the emotional chain Ymir needs her to have to eventually break by killing Eren. In other words, the rescue isn't just a childhood memory. It aligns Mikasa with the chosen one role required to end the Titan curse itself. So the time loop goes like this. Ymir watches Mikasa
That's tough. That's tough story writing right there. Mikasa was chosen to be the one to save humanity, which she did. That's crazy. And her backstory is crazy as fuck. Like, me and my girl, we made it to that episode. Couldn't believe it.
And fall in love, which
that shit crazy.
Bond, which Ymir studies for centuries, which inspires her desire for freedom, which requires Mikasa to kill Eren, which future Eren must ensure happens by shaping young Eren's worldview, and the cycle repeats and repeats. The proof for this is obvious. Chapter 139.5 showcases the reason for Mikasa's headaches throughout the story. Ymir was peeking into her head all this time, and this is exactly why
That's fucking crazy, shorty. You in this bitch head trying to figure out how she got the thinking the way she thought, or you just trying to make sure that she do what she need to do. That's crazy.
Shows Mikasa an alternative reality in chapter 138.
Yeah, I remember this episode.
Together. But everyone till this day is still confused about what this moment means, so I'm gonna break it down. First,
talk to me.
Eren did not live multiple timelines in a multiverse. The cabin was a memory Eren created inside the paths to give Mikasa a real choice. A psychological world where he finally lets his true feelings out. He shows her the life they could have chosen, running away, hiding from the world, living quietly whilst his remaining years tick down to die. The cabin is the answer to Eren's biggest question.
That like a family cabin too.
And back in Mali, Mikasa avoided the truth. She said your family, and that answer decided everything. Because if Mikasa chose Eren romantically, Ymir's 2,000-year-old cycle breaks, and if she clings to him as family, the loop continues. So Eren gives her one last chance. He creates a what-if memory inside the paths, and unlike Armin, Mikasa's scene happens in real time. Ackermans can't have their memories altered, right? So it was happening live, right before the final strike. Eren in the dream comments why Mikasa is crying just like she did in episode 1, because in truth, she knows what's next. Eren begs her to forgive me, but back in
Oh
reality, she
shit.
answers,
See, yeah, that's why this shit was emotional for me too, cause she definitely, it was going back and forth from her from the slice the nigga head off, and her going through them fucking memories, and now that shit makes sense. It make everything makes sense when it comes to this anime shit.
Eren
Best
begs
believe.
her to forgive me, but back in reality, she answers, I'm sorry, Eren. I can't. And now, Mikasa, fully aware of what she's losing, makes the choice Ymir waited 2,000 years for. She lets go of her love and kills Eren, finishing the time loop. So what you truly need to understand about Attack on Titan is that Kenny was right. Every person is a slave to something. And for Eren Yeager, that something was freedom itself. His entire life, he saw himself as a bird trapped in a cage. And the more he learned about the world,
These
the bigger
memes
that
he be
cage
tossing up be
became.
crazy, bro.
That's why he was disappointed when he learned humanity lived beyond the walls. Eren
Bro.
said everyone is born free. He meant the instinct to fight the forces that try to control you and oppress people. The same spark that Ymir saw when she freed those goddamn pigs 2,000 years ago. Eren understood that everyone is a devil in someone else's story. That's why when speaking to Reiner in Mali, he said, I'm the same as you. Neither of them chose to be monsters. They were pushed by the systems that they were born into. And when Eren tells Falco nobody chooses a war, he's admitting something very fundamental. Conflict is the natural outcome of people trapped in cycles where real choice doesn't exist. This is why he continues the rumbling no matter what. Yes, with the full founding Titan powers where he can manipulate all time, all memories, every bloody Eldian. Why didn't he save Carla? Why didn't he stop Reiner or Butthole? Why didn't he just break Frida's vow or protect Paradis peacefully or find any other outcome besides doing the rumbling? Well, future Eren would have always made the same choice to activate it because it was in his nature since birth to seek freedom through violence. Eren never had free will. Ymir chose him because he was the only person whose will was strong enough to carry out what was required. And if we're being honest, Ymir is the true villain of Attack on Titan. And the amount of plot holes that she creates is insane.
Yeah, her character is confusing as fuck because she continued to serve out of fucking booger my nose. She continued to serve under a king and had actual love for a king that didn't give a fuck about her. She done had babies and did everything this nigga said just cause she loved this nigga. He didn't give a two shits for her. She was his slave. Ymir was a fucking slave and had a whole fucking powers, whole lot of power. She found a tree and this shit happened. She stumbled upon a tree and all this extra shit happened, bro. Ymir is confusing as fuck. This is where the only issues I have with Attack on Titans is with this bitch. I wish it was something more important besides this bitch, bro. Cause she went through some shit. She had to overcome some shit, but bro, they don't expand upon her as much as I wish they could, basically.
Hey, like that's an entire video on its own, and trust me, I'll be making that video next. But to enjoy more peak fiction, watch this video about Code Geass, where Lelouch actually pulls off the ending Eren wanted.
Bro, well, that was a really good video. I was going through it, and I ain't gonna lie, I was reminiscing a lot on that one. That was some good videos, some great quality content and notes to note. You feel me? Let me know what your favorite season and or episode of Attack on Titans is. Did you know a lot of this stuff beforehand? Was you already like a anime buff or anybody person that stay in tune with the news, let alone you already knew this shit? And if you read the manga, let me know which manga you got and what's your favorite manga to read. Cause I enjoy reading manga. I think I should have 6 manga books. Majority Jujutsu Kaisen. Started off with Attack on Titans and Dragon Ball Super. But you know what I'm saying? This was a great video from Anime Balls Deep. You feel me? You broke it down. No diddy. Broke it down simply and quickly as possible. You feel me? I understand a lot of things you said. It actually resparked the hunger, resparked the motivation to go finish this series, because it's a lot of things that I just overlooked and that I be wanting to tell my girl about when we're watching it together. But it's like, man, I don't want to spoil nothing because I know everybody's gonna react to this series is different, and they're gonna be able to witness certain things is different. So I like to see when people come to that realization in real time, when what they thought before was actually what they thought, and or if it's something different. I like to see that happen in real time. I don't like spoiling that full circle moment for people when they're watching and experiencing shows and or movies for the first time. That's the only reason why I don't be spoiling it for you, my sunshine. I'll be trying to let you go through that realization on your own. You feel me? But nonetheless, this is a great video. This is great anime talk. You feel me? I'll be doing a lot of talk about a lot of extra shit. Finally get to talk about my anime and some animes that I actually quality. You feel me? Quality anime, GOAT anime. Talk about it, and we don't have to worry about this power scaling niggas, the random ass debate. You feel me? Because people will still be trying to throw Aaron into these power scaling debates. Like he don't need to be in that debates, bro. I'm not even gonna continue to advance that talk because the world he existed in, only people he had to fight was Titans. You feel me? All he gotta do is adjust somebody memory. He could go back in time on niggas. You feel me? For real. But I don't even want to try and do the mental gymnastics on trying to explain why Attack on Titans wouldn't be a good comparison to fight in anybody in a power scaling world for anime verse type shit. But hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I'm out, family.